So this is the drain plug that we're going to be installing here. It's a Dorman. It's used for any type of oil or transmission fluid. It's going to have two gaskets, the bolt and nut combo, and then the filler, or sorry, the drain plug right there. So we're going to go ahead and take off that transmission pan and get started here. Now looking underneath the car, you want to locate the transmission pan, and that's the transmission pan right there. There's a number of bolts all the way around it there. So what we're going to want to do is I'm going to undo the transmission cross bracket. So those two bolts right there that attach to the transmission, and then also I have two bolts right here, and I have two bolts on the other side as well. Now, I will have to support the jack. I'll probably support it back on the drive shaft area, just a little bit, so that way I don't drop down too far. But we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll be able to get to those bolts a little bit easier. I've done this before with the cross member on, and it was a pain in the butt. I got fluid everywhere trying to put it back on. It's just not worth it. I'm just going to go ahead and undo those bolts since they're nice and easy. So I'll get started doing that. Now I'm just going to move that bracket out of the way. Now all the bolts are out. I'm not going to move it far, just enough to where I can get those bolts out of the transmission, and that way the pan doesn't hit when I try to put it back in. Hoping to not have to do much more than just hit the piece of metal back. There we go. There should be more than enough room now to get to those bolts. So now here's the worst part of this whole mess, is that we have to drop the pan down. It's got fluid in it, and we have to drop it down just right. We're going to drop it down on this side so that way the fluid goes out that way first. I'll catch it with this pan. You want to have a nice clean pan. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and catch all of it, and we'll probably reuse it. I got this pan's nice and clean, so I will definitely be reusing this. So go through and break all those loose, then I'll get my gun under there and I'll shoot them all out. So I went ahead and cleaned up the oil pan, got it all nice and clean on the inside and outside. And now I marked the spot right here that we're going to put the drain plug in. It's a 1/2 inch hole here, so I have a 1/2 inch step bit. The maximum step on this is a 1/2 inch, so I'm just going to go ahead and make it go all the way through. And yeah, let's go and drill that out. Now, one thing to note there is make sure inside the transmission that you're not going to hit anything if you install the drain plug there. Now, this is where I chose to do it. You might have a different spot on your car with transmission. Another thing to keep note of is where the hole is in relation to the bolts. Make sure that it's not going to make a hard time of getting that bolt back in there. There we go. Got our hole right in there. Now I just want to clean that off. She get all the metal out of there. don't want to install that back in there with metal shavings going into your transmission. So I'm just going to take a file and clean that up. I'll just go ahead and do that off camera. Alright, so we're all cleaned up now, on inside and out. No more burrs or anything like that, nice and flat. Goes inside and out. So we're going to go ahead and install the oil drain plug. So taking the oil drain plug, you just put it right in there like that. You want to make sure you have that plastic washer, one on each side there. The plastic washer. One on each side there. Put one in on this side. So we'll just go ahead and tighten that up now. So in my case, it's a 3/4 inch on each side. You're gonna snug it down pretty tight. Make sure it gets a nice good seal. That way you don't leak. And there you go. We now have a drain plug for our transmission. That way we don't have to worry about that the next time when we're taking that drain pan off. We'll go ahead and install it back onto the car and see what it looks like after. Alright, now we're just going to do a little time lapse of me reinstalling the transmission pan after the drain plug was installed. Alright, there we have it. The transmission pan's back on. If this video helped you at all, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It's a kind of a little bit of difficulty for such a minor thing, but I think it's going to be totally worth it if we ever need to drain the oil from the transmission pan again. So I think it's totally worth it. But please be sure to check out my other videos and to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.